Hey, what's going on? This is Matt, and welcome to another video, where today I'm going to show you the exact steps that you need to take to get your beef bone broth to gelatinize. So if you've ever made bone broth and it's turned out a little bit more watery and a little bit less gelatin, I'm going to show you how to correct that today. This way is super easy, it's really cost effective, and it turns out it's far better nutrition than the stuff that you're going to find in the stores. So let's get started. So there's basically three things that you need to know in order to make the beef bone broth gel. And the first thing, and most important, is to source the right kind of bones. Now right here I have premium beef soup bones labeled soup specifically, and those are the kind that are actually going to work to make it a gel rather than make it a soup. You can also get beef leg or shank bones, and these will add quite a bit of marrow, but they're not going to give it as much like collagen producing potential as the soup bones are. So the soup bones are best, but you can use leg bones and shank bones in addition if you'd like some extra marrow in your broth. Now, sourcing quality ingredients is absolutely critical when it comes to making bone broth, because unfortunately what can happen is animals that are raised in concentrated animal feeding operations will gather pollution up in their bodies, and then this pollution can be released when you're making the bone broth. And we can be talking about some very toxic substances such as lead or antibiotic residue or residue of like bovine growth hormone. So we don't really need any of that stuff in our bodies. And really when it comes to sourcing, the best bones for making it, it's critical to not only get the soup bones, but to get bones from as clean of an animal as possible. So I got these bones from Whole Foods, and here it says they're pasture raised, no antibiotics, no growth hormones. And one of the last things I'll say about quality is that beef raised on grass are generally far superior. So if you can get the grass-fed certification, that's best. Or if you can only get the organic certification, that's better than nothing. But if you can get both of those certified, then both grass-fed and organic, that's literally the best bones that you can get. So the first step to actually cooking the broth is to simply get out your slow cooker and fill it with water and turn it on. And then we'll pop the bones out of the freezer, give them a quick rinse, and then I wanted to show you exactly what the soup bones look like. They're kind of gnarly looking things, and you can see that there's a lot of potential there to draw a lot of nutrition out of this bone material, and also the connective tissue right there, which is key in terms of drawing both the glycine and the proline out of the bones here. Those are two of the amino acids that are most beneficial from bone broth. So I got these bones here. I'm just going to throw them right in the slow cooker. In addition to the bones in the water, the only other thing we need to make our bone broth the right way is the apple cider vinegar. I've got the organic, raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar here, and you only need just about a tablespoon to throw in there. And what this does is it helps leach the minerals out of the bones so that your bone broth is more nutritionally dense. So we don't want to use too much, otherwise it'll give the bone broth a vinegary taste. So I'll just use about a tablespoon or so. Now I'm going to let this broth simmer on low for about 16 hours, and then we're going to come back and see exactly what it looks like when it's just about done cooking, and go from there. And we're back. Here it is the next morning, and the bone broth has been simmering in the pot for just about 16 hours now. So I'm going to show you with the camera here. We're going to take a look and show exactly what that looks like. Looks a little bit gnarly with the bones in there, but you can see the white, kind of the white like cloudiness of it. That's what's actually going to turn into the gelatin when I put that in the fridge. And so right now, I'm going to take the bones out and put that in the containers and put it in the fridge, and then we'll see exactly what that looks like when it gets cold and turns a little bit stout. And now the bone broth's been sitting in the fridge for just a couple hours, and so I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. You can see the soupy texture there with the layer of fat on the top, and it's got that nice gelatin thick soup layer there. I could have made that just a little bit more stout if I would have used more bones, but that's generally the texture that I have it when I finish it up. And with that, we've pretty much concluded a video on how to make beef bone broth with the most collagen potential possible. And collagen is really critical to heal the gut, which is critical to keep your brain in really good shape throughout your life, because that lowers systemic inflammation and also improves your nutrient absorption. If you're interested in getting the latest information on how to keep your mind strong the natural way, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video today and look forward to seeing you next time.